Laudetur Jesus Christus. Praise be Jesus Christ. And warm welcome to all of you out there joining us for this live broadcast, coming to you here from St. Peter's Square on this brilliant, sunny, and warm day here in the Eternal City. In just a few moments, Pope Francis will be appearing from the study window overlooking St. Peter's Square there in the Apostolic Palace to greet all these pilgrims you see here gathered in St. Peter's Square for the Sunday Angelus, the Recitation of the Marian Prayer led by Pope Francis every Sunday here. On this, today, the 24th Sunday in Ordinary Time, September 11th, 2022. From wherever you're joining us, of course, a warm welcome whether you're joining us on YouTube, on our Facebook Live feed, or via the Vatican News web portal. And of course, a special welcome to the broadcasters who link up with us in a special way right now, and they include Catholic Television, the Catholic Faith Network, Shalom World Television Networks USA, Shalom Television India, EWTN Television, Salt and Light Television, Atmar Darshan Television India, and of course our radio stations linking up with us, Luminous Radio in India and Radio Maria in England. Thanks to all of you and all those here as well not mentioned. In just a few moments here, Pope Francis will be appearing from that window there where you see the tapestry hanging and waving in the wind there. The camera's zooming in there now, and for our radio listeners, we'll give you cues as to what's happening here. We'll be providing, of course, this translation in English of the Holy Father's words and his greetings after the recitation of the Angelus, after he imparts his apostolic blessing, which goes out to all of you tuning in here. And a reminder for all of you as well that Pope Francis will be leaving on the 13th of September, on Tuesday, until Thursday for an apostolic journey there to Kazakhstan, the Central Asian nation there, where he'll be attending a meeting of the world's religious leaders. And Pope Francis there waving to the crowds below, appearing there at the window, and now ready to offer his reflections before leading the recitation of the Angelus.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, buongiorno.
Dear brothers and sisters, buongiorno. The Gospel of today's liturgy presents us the three parables of mercy. They're called the parables of mercy. They show us God's mercy. Jesus tells them to respond to the grumblings of the Pharisees and the scribes who say, "This man welcomes sinners and eats with them." So these parables that Jesus tells respond to the grumblings of the Pharisees and the scribes who complain about Jesus welcoming sinners and eating with them. And God never excludes anyone. He wants everyone at his banquet because he loves everyone as his children. No one excluded. He loves everyone. The three parables then summarize the heart of the gospel. God is the Father and comes in search of us whenever we're lost. Indeed, the protagonists of the parables, who represent God, are a shepherd who searches for the lost sheep, a woman who finds the lost coin, and the father of the prodigal son. Let us dwell on an aspect that all these three protagonists have in common. All three of them.
Tutti e tre hanno un aspetto comune.
So there's this common aspect of all three which we could define thus. They have a restlessness for something that is missing. That you're missing the sheep, the coin, or the son. All of them have this restlessness for something that is missing. All three, after all, if they were to calculate, could rest easy. The shepherd is missing a sheep, but he has 99 others. The woman is missing a coin, but she has 9 others. And even the father has another son who's obedient, devote himself to. And the other son who left was lost instead. However, there's an anxiety in their hearts about what is missing: the sheep, the coin, the son who's gone away. One who loves is concerned about the one who is missing, longs for who is absent, seeks who is lost, and awaits who has gone astray, for he wants no one to be lost. Brothers and sisters, God is like this. He does not rest easy if we stray from Him. He's grieved. He trembles in His innermost being, and He sets out to look for us until He takes us back into His arms. The Lord does not calculate losses and risks. He has the heart of a father and a mother, and suffers for the lack of His beloved children. Yes, God suffers. God suffers for our distance, and when we go astray, He awaits our return. Remember, God always awaits us with open arms. God always awaits us, whatever the situation in life in which we are lost. Maybe, as a psalm says, He will neither slumber nor sleep. He always watches over us. Let us look at ourselves now and ask ourselves, do we imitate the Lord in this? That is, are we anxious about what's missing? Do we have a longing, nostalgia for those who are missing, who've drifted from Christian life? Do we carry this inner restlessness, or are we serene and undisturbed among ourselves? In other words, do we truly miss those who are missing from our communities? Do we really miss them? Or are we comfortable among ourselves, calm and happy in our groups, without compassion for those who are far away? Do we not have that compassion for those who are far away? It's not just a question of being open to others. It's the gospel. The shepherd of the parable did not say, well, I have 99 sheep, why should I go and look for the lost one? Instead, the shepherd went out to find the lost sheep. Let us then reflect on our relationships. Do I pray for those who do not believe, who've drifted away? Do we attract those who are distant from the style of God, which is closeness, compassion, and tenderness? The Father asks us to be attentive to the children He misses the most. Let's think of someone we know who's close to us and has perhaps never heard anyone say, you know, you are important to God. Maybe I'm in a difficult situation or I've done something wrong, but no, you are important to God. Let's say it. Maybe you don't search for God, but He searches for you. So let's be troubled by these questions. We need to be troubled by these questions. We need to ask ourselves. Let's pray to the Blessed Mother, who never tires of searching for us and taking care of us, her children.
Et concepit de Spiritu Sancto.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ecce ancilla Domini.
Fiat mi secundum verbum tuum.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Et verbum caro factum est.
Et habitavit in nobis.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ora pro nobis, Santa Dei Genitrix,
Ut digni efficiamur promissionibus Christi.
gratiam Tua, in quae sumus Domine, mentibus nostris infunde, ut qui angelo nunziante Christi Filii Tui incarnatione coniovimus, per passionem eius et crucem, a resurrectione gloriam perducamur, per Christum Dominum nostrum.
Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Pro fidelibus defunctis, requiem aeternam dona eis Domine.
Et lux perpetua lucet eis.
Requiescant in pace.
Amen.
Sit nomen Domini benedictum.
Ex hoc nunc et usque in saeculum.
Aiutorium nostrum in nomine Domini.
Qui fecit caelum et terram.
Benedicat vos, omnipotens Deus, Pater, et Filius, et Spiritus Sanctus.
Amen.
Cari fratelli e sorelle,
Dear brothers and sisters,
dopodomani partirò per un viaggio di 3 giorni in
the day after
Kazakhstan.
tomorrow, I'll be leaving for a few days to Kazakhstan, where I'll be taking part in the international meeting of the world's religious leaders and from around the world. We all are animated by the common desire for peace.
Vorrei già da ora rivolgere un cordiale saluto ai partecipanti, così come l'autorità.
I'd like to offer my greetings right now to all those taking part in this meeting, and as well as to the entire population of that huge, large nation of Kazakhstan.
In vista della mia visita. A tutti chiedo di accompagnare con la
As all of you do accompany me in prayer with this pilgrimage of peace that I'll be making to Kazakhstan.
Continuiamo a pregare per il popolo ucraino.
Well, let's also continue to pray for the people of Ukraine, and the Lord may be close to them and bring them hope and comfort. Cardinal Konrad Krajewski, the papal almoner, will be heading to Ukraine to meet with the Ukrainian communities and to be close to them, to express the closeness of the Pope to the people that are suffering. And at this time of prayer here, I'd like to remember Sister Maria de Coppi, an Italian Comboni religious sister who was killed in Mozambique, who served that country and the people for 60 years with love. May her testimony, her witness, give strength to all Christians there and to all Mozambicans. And as well, I'd like to greet the people of Ethiopia who are celebrating their traditional New Year today. I accompany you in my prayer, and I wish every family and the entire nation peace in that country. Let's also remember to pray for all those children who go back to school. We're going back to school at this time. Let's remember them in our prayers.
Ed ora un saluto tutti voi romani e pellegrini di vari paesi,
And greetings to the pilgrims from Rome and all the parish groups and associations present here in the square. And I'd like to greet those coming from Colombia here in the square.
E la rappresentanza femminile dell'Argentina al Forum Economico Mondiale.
As well as those from Costa Rica and the women from Argentina at the World Economic Forum.
I fedeli di Musile del Piave, Ponte Tresa, Vimercate.
As well as various groups there from different parts of Italy.
Vi auguro una buona domenica.
Wish you all a good Sunday. And please remember to pray for me and have a good lunch, and arrivederci to all of you. And there, Pope Francis just concluded his thoughts following the recitation of the Angelus and his apostolic blessing, and he asked for prayers for his upcoming journey, mentioned earlier in this broadcast, to Kazakhstan, the Central Asian nation he'll go to on Tuesday until Thursday for the 7th Congress of Leaders of World and Traditional Religions that will be taking place there. The theme of that meeting this year will be the role of leaders of world and traditional faiths in the socio-spiritual development of humanity after the pandemic. This summit of religious leaders takes place every 3 years when religious leaders from around the world gather at the Congress of Leaders of World and Traditional Religions there in Nur-Sultan, the capital of Kazakhstan. We'll have live coverage of all those events here on Vatican Media, Vatican News, so be sure to join us for our live coverage and broadcasts with translation, of course, into English as well as other languages. If you go to vaticannews.va, you can find all the languages and the times of those broadcasts. I'd like to thank you all for joining us here as we conclude this noonday broadcast here of the Angelus in St. Peter's Square on this beautiful Sunday here in the Eternal City. You can find a full text of the Pope's words there on vaticannews.va and, of course, on Facebook as well. On behalf of Vatican Media, I thank all of the technicians who've made this broadcast possible and all my colleagues, and I thank all of you for joining us. A blessed Sunday to you all. Laudetur Jesus Christus. Praised be Jesus Christ.